Boom. Keep him coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to the Chelsea English Challenge on FM23. Here we are with episode 2, picking right up where we left off at the end of last season. Quickly, just want to run through the league table with you. Obviously, I finished second. Man City and Leicester qualified for the Champions League, along with Manchester United and ourselves. Bournemouth, Crystal Palace and Notts Forest were relegated, and it's important you remember Crystal Palace were relegated because I basically pillaged them for players. Quick run through on the squad, sorted by average rating. Raheem Sterling was our best player of the season in my eyes. He had a 7.51 average rating over the course of the season, 46 appearances, 23 goals, that's a goal every other game, and 12 assists. Mason Mount come second in the Premier League ratings rankings. These appearances here are obviously cup competitions as well. But in the Premier League, Mason Mount comes second. He got 16 goals and 11 assists in 33 appearances throughout the entire season. And Tammy Abraham, 42 goals in 49 games. It's a great return for him, and even 10 assists. Marcus Edwards, on the right-hand side there, 17 goals and 16 assists in 38 games. That's nearly either a goal or an assist every game, which is fantastic from him. Great performance from him. And because he lost that final, that Champions League final, Jurgen Klopp has been sacked. Liverpool didn't qualify for the Champions League. They did win the FA Cup, so they went on to win that after they beat us in the semi-final on penalties. But the FA Cup, obviously not enough for the Liverpool board, and they've decided to sack Jurgen Klopp, which is a bit strange, but difficult business, I guess. This is what they considered our best 11, which makes sense, really. Mendy played 57 games there in the goal, and then the rest of the team was all the English players that we could possibly field. So in terms of the other board expectations and the club vision, they were a little bit disappointed that we didn't increase the commercial revenue. I'm not sure what else I could have done with that, to be honest. I know we didn't make any worldwide signings, but we won the Champions League, and I'm not sure how you increase the club's profile and commercial revenue better than that. Anyway, they obviously want me to work within the wage budget. Challenge for the Champions League again next season, and qualify for the Champions League. Contract is due to be renewed next season, so fingers crossed. So I've jumped ahead now to the end of the August transfer window. We're in the 2nd of September. I'm going to run through the players that were transferred out. Mark Cucurella has left. He's gone to PSG with 2 or 3 other ex-Chelsea players that were last season. He's gone for 33 million. Kai Havertz has also gone. He's gone for 50 million to Manchester City. Look how much he's worth now, though. I mean, he's a fantastic player in the game. Look at those stats. If I were playing the game properly, I'd have definitely kept him, but part of the challenge. Had to move him on. I'm just a little bit gutted I didn't get more money for him. Lukaku came back from loan at Inter Milan. He's gone to PSG as well. It's like a Chelsea reserve team out there at Paris Saint-Germain now. We just got shy of 50 million for him as well. Baba Rahman came back from loan, sold him on for 2 million. Kovacevic has gone back to Madrid, albeit he's gone to Atletico. He went for 36 million. Ziyech has finally left. He's gone for 32 million to Juventus. Ampadu was out on loan last season. He's come back. He's gone out to Germany, to Cologne. Just shy of 3 million, 2.9 million, I think. The player that was out on loan that's come back to us and been sold on to Real Sociedad. He went for 6.25 million. I decided to sell this striker. 20 years old now. He's not really developing. Scout report says he's just a D rating, and I got nearly 10 million in instalments from Brighton for him to go there, so I just let him go. Slanina's gone to Werder Bremen, got just a little over 12 million for him. Another player who was out on loan came back to us, sold him on to Toulouse. I got 3.8 million for him, which is not good considering that if you see down here, he joined Chelsea for 39.5 million. It was a big money signing for Chelsea back then in 2017, but he's just never lived up to it. His stats don't look that bad, but he's, might as well cash in. And Christian Pulisic has finally left. He's gone to Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. He'll be playing against Ronaldo. Got 15 million for him to go there. And that is it for the transfers out. There was quite a few loans. A lot of young players went out on loan. But other than that, we've not been able to move anyone else on. Some of the other foreigners that we were trying to move on, Brozia's gone out on loan to Bournemouth. Fofana's gone out on loan to Juventus. And one player I forgot to tell you about is Kepa, who's moved on to Marseille for 11 million. That's it for the transfers outs. I'll now tell you who we brought in. So, Dean Henderson was a pre-arranged transfer. Brought him in for 15 million to be the number one goalkeeper. Sam Johnston, I did a pre-arranged transfer with him for 2 million. He's come in as the backup goalkeeper. Remember I told you to keep an eye on Crystal Palace because I went and raped them for players? Tyreek Mitchell has come in to us. He's come in as the backup left-back to Chilwell. And he's fairly young and he's got a couple of caps for England. I think he'll be an able deputy that can actually be rotated in and we wouldn't lose too much talent there on that left-back position. Michael Elise, fantastic player on this game. I've had him in other saves. I've brought him in... Originally when I brought him in to be the number one right winger. I know Marcus Edwards played really well last season, but I kind of think that was a one-off. I've had Marcus Edwards in other saves and he's not really progressed, he's not really done much. Whereas Elise has been fantastic on every save that I've had. And then Mark Guehi I've brought in as another centre-back. I didn't actually realise that he came through the Chelsea Academy, but I've brought him in to be another English centre-back, and I think with Chalobah, with Tomori, with Colville, I think it is, who was out on loan last season at Everton, he's back. We have 4 very good English centre-backs there that can all come in and do a job. Pickford became available. Now, I'd already signed Henderson and Johnston, but I did think Johnston's a good third-choice keeper. Is he a good backup if something happens to Henderson? So Pickford became available and 21 million. I've just taken a punt on him, brought him in. I think Aaron Ramsdale is the best English goalkeeper on the game, but Henderson and Pickford are probably the next best 2. So having them in the squad, a bit of a no-brainer really. And like I say, Johnston, he only cost me 2 million, did Johnston. He can be an able third-choice keeper. Now, I desperately needed a striker, and I waited right until the last day of the transfer window to bring somebody in. Tammy Abraham was fantastic last season, but if anything happens to him, I haven't got anyone at all to come in and cover. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was the only player I could really get a hold of that I felt could do a similar job, that could be the similar sort of player that we needed if Abraham was out, or if we needed to rotate round. He cost 50 million, which is more than what I wanted to pay, but I've got 2 really good strikers, really good English strikers. If Harry Kane comes available, I'm going to go get him, but I've got Abraham and Calvert-Lewin, who are, again, similar to the goalkeeper situation. Kane's best English striker, but I think Abraham and Calvert-Lewin are probably the next best 2. So again, no-brainer, just paid more money than I wanted to pay. Jude Bellingham, as most of you know, becomes available for 83 million in his contract. There's a clause in his contract for you to be able to buy him for 83 million. So I used a lot of the funding that we had from the player sales to go bring this kid in. He's going to be a fantastic player in real life. He already is a good player in real life, but he's going to be fantastic as he develops and matures. On the game, he turns into a brilliant world-class midfielder. He's going to be in the heart of that Chelsea midfield for me for the rest of this save. I have no intention of selling him. I'll pay him whatever he wants paying, and I will just keep him there for the rest of the game. Couldn't pass up the opportunity of buying him. You remember I told you I brought Elise in to be that right winger? I had 120 million left. And again, similar to the Bellingham situation, I couldn't really pass the opportunity up. I've spent 250 million this summer on Saka, Bellingham and Calvert-Lewin, and then obviously the 3 players that I brought in from Crystal Palace plus Pickford. Spent quite a lot of money, but this kid's going to be fantastic in real life. He already is a good player in real life, and I say that as a Spurs fan. But on the game as well, he is an absolute steal. 120 million is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but he's going to be in the first 11 now for the rest of this save, very much similar to Bellingham. And if I can get Phil Foden, just complement that entire that entire team. Phil Foden and Declan Rice, if I can get those two. Declan Rice, actually, I didn't tell you this, I don't think, in the last episode. He moved to Real Madrid in the January transfer window. And we couldn't afford him, otherwise I'd have bought him, but we couldn't afford him, and he moved on to Real Madrid, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth. But hopefully it might be easier to get him from Madrid. If he's not playing as much and he gets unhappy and discontented, we might be able to get him from Real Madrid easier. So, I don't know, we'll see how that one goes. But, yeah, Saka and Bellingham, both available for minimum fee release clauses, which, set me back 200 million, but two players I will never need to replace. Pay them what they want, keep them in the team. It's, no-brainers, really. It didn't do a lot for us finances. 54 million in the red, and that gets worse throughout the season. It doesn't get better. So I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do about that. The projections are not good either. I don't know if the projections are accurate in the game or not. I never really pay that much attention to them because things can change. You can get further in the Champions League competition and get more revenue. You can sell a player or two. We'll have to keep an eye on it. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, but that 54 million nearly triples by the end of the season. So in terms of the fixtures so far then, as you can see, we lost the opening game to West Ham 2-1 away, which is ironic given we lost to them away on the last day of last season, so they are a bit of a bogey team. We've beaten Fulham 2-0, we've beaten Everton 2-0. We had a very good pre-season with the friendlies, went out to South Korea, and then played Getafe from Spain where we won 8-0. We also won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Tottenham 2-0 in that Super Cup. So we got a trophy straight away at the start of the season, which is great. As you can see from the schedule there, we've got Norwich away in the Carabao Cup third round, and in the Champions League we have Partizan Belgrade, we have Shakhtar Donetsk, and we have Borussia Dortmund. So it should be qualifiable, if that's a word. Dortmund will obviously prove to be a tough test, but I'm confident we'll beat them at home, and I'm confident we'll beat Partizan and Shakhtar home and away. Okay, we're on the 1st of February now, so we've gone through the January transfer window. I can tell you I only brought one player in. Like I say, the finances have not been the best. We brought in, which was this kid, another English striker. He's got also a Turkish nationality, so I hope he doesn't declare for Turkey, otherwise I'll then have to sell him. But he gets really good on the game. I've had him in other saves. I've seen him in other saves. He's kind of a wonder kid. He develops into a really good striker, and I think we can utilise him when Calvert-Lewin or Abraham are struggling, and we can probably play him in some of the cup competitions next season. I think if we can keep hold of him and Soomsop Bell, those two should hopefully go on to replace Abraham and Calvert-Lewin, and we shouldn't really need to go out and buy any other striker, unless Harry Kane becomes available. In terms of sales, this January transfer window, Edward Mendy finally moved on to Ajax for 33 million. This fella finally moved on for free. His contract was due to run out at the end of the season. I was trying to get rid of him in the summer for like 2.5 million. $1 million. Nobody would buy him. Eventually, I think towards the end of the August transfer window, I set his value at 0, put him on the unwanted list, told him to find another club, offered him out, and he just would not go anywhere. He was on £170,000 a week for us, and given the financial situation, I was just trying to, get him off the books. I didn't really want to pay anyone a contribution towards his salary. So, anyway, eventually in the January, he's moved on to Angers, which is a League One team in France, and they're paying him 25 grand a week. So why he didn't go in the summer, I don't know. I loaned him out at the end of the January transfer window to Sheffield United to give him some game time. By the end of the January transfer window, the Carabao Cup is nearly finished. He was predominantly playing in that. He wasn't really getting much other game time, and I kind of need him to develop a little bit. So I decided to loan him out, which was a mistake in hindsight, because then I had some problems in defence with injuries and tiredness, where he'd have got more game time. But, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I thought I was doing the right thing at the time, but no. The eagle-eyed of you all will have seen that I was second in the Premier League to Manchester City this time. Manchester United last season, but they've fallen away quite considerably. Liverpool are just behind us, 3 points behind us, and we are 2 points behind Manchester City with a game in hand. so it is in our hands to try and do something about it. Tammy Abraham's third in the goal scorer charts despite having that long-term injury. Haaland is just running away with it again. He's got twice as many goals as Rashford. He's also top of the average ratings list, but Saka is there in third. And Ben Chilwell is top of the assist charts, well, joint top with Robertson and Harry Wilson. Dean Henderson second in the clean sheet charts, so he's done well when he's come in. And then the opposite fullback, Reece James, has got the most yellow cards in the league this season. It was Chilwell last season, Reece James has taken it this season. So I mentioned the Carabao Cup. We've predominantly played a second 11. I think it was the Liverpool game that went to penalties where I played some stronger players. There was still an element of second 11 in it, which I'll show you. So down here, we didn't have any right back, so I had to call on Zane Silcott Dewberry from the under 21s to come in and play. And we had Saka, we had Mount, we had Sterling, Chilwell, Bellingham, but we played, Chamberlain, Loftus-Cheek. This was a period where we didn't have a striker. So Abraham and Calvert-Lewin were both injured at this time, and we had to play Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as the striker. Yeah, but I think Saka played on the left, Elise played on the right. Mendy played in goal for some reason in that game. I can't remember what the purpose of that was. But yeah, West Ham, which is a bogey team, we've lost twice there in the league in this save, last season and this season. But the second 11 went there and won 3-1. We beat Norwich in that first round, well, the third round, but the first round we were playing in. Tammy Abraham getting a hat-trick in that game. Semi-final against Leicester, 1-2 away again, as you can see. Pretty much second 11. I think Chamberlain was playing as that striker, scoring 2 goals. Well done, Chamberlain. And then we demolished Leicester 4-1 at home. We've got Wolves in the final. I'll probably go with the second 11 again for the final, just because they've kind of got us there. And hopefully they can do the job. Champions League has been very comfortable. 2-0 home win against Partizan, 4-0 away at Shakhtar. Once I beat Dortmund 3-1 away. It was pretty much plain sailing. We smashed Dortmund 7-0 at home. I think they had a player sent off in the 54th minute. Emre Can got sent off there. We then followed that up with a 6-0 win against Shakhtar. Calvert-Lewin with a hat-trick. And then finished it off with a 5-0 away win at Partizan, where we played pretty much second 11. We've got Ajax in the next round, which is where Edouard Mendy has gone to go play in goal. And we struggled against them last season. If you remember last season in the group stages, we struggled against Ajax. We beat them 1-0 at their place, but then they beat us 2-1 at our place. So if the away goal rule still stood in the knockout competitions, they would have actually eliminated us. So it could be quite tough, and they've now got a better goalkeeper. They've got Europe's best goalkeeper from last season. FA Cup, we've only played one round so far, but that was a 6-0 home win against Cheltenham, and now we've got Liverpool. So revenge beckons for that semi-final defeat last season. So I'll just show you some of the results from the Premier League. You obviously know that we lost the first game of the season away at West Ham. After that, we had quite a good run. We drew away at Aston Villa and Newcastle, which was a bit disappointing, but you can't win every game, I guess. We lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal, who are again a bogey team for us, a bit like West Ham. We lost away at Southampton, which was utterly disappointing. We got a draw away at Liverpool, which was a good result, and a draw away at Tottenham, which is a good result. We beat Manchester City 2-0 at home, which was a massive result. Bearing in mind where they are, that they're just above us in the league, 2 points above us, but we've got a game in hand. So that was a massive result for us beating them at home 2-0. We got revenge on West Ham, and then we've beaten Watford and Newcastle. Liverpool next at home in the league. So here we are at the end of the season. I do have a live come again to do for you, which we'll talk about in a little while. However, the league has finished. For those of you that eagle-eyed, I did come second. 1 point behind Manchester City, which I toyed with doing as a live com, but I didn't think we were going to win anyway. We were at home to Burnley in the last game of the season, They were at home to Liverpool, who did finish third, but they've just been very consistent with winning. So I didn't do it as a live com. Thought it'd be a bit of a waste considering the live com that I am going to do for you. But yeah, second point behind the winners. A little bit gutting, but by the same token, again, decent achievement finishing second. Hopefully next season we can go one better. In terms of the results, this is where the downfall really happened. So we had that home draw to Liverpool, which was 0-0. We then went on a good run, winning 5 on the bounce. And then we had a home draw to Wolves. Fucking Wolves, bogey team. Another bogey team. I'll talk to you about later. Aston Villa, we beat 3-1. And then this was the big one. This was the big one. We were 2-1 up. And then they scored 2 goals in quick succession here to take it to 3-2. And then Ake was sent off right at the end of the game, so it didn't really make much of a difference. I can take losing to Manchester City. What I can't take is the following result, which was a home draw to Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough were bottom of the table, and if we'd have won that game, we'd have won the league. And, you know, Hudson-Odoi had to score a late equaliser. Arsenal again, bogey team. They've beaten us home and away on this season. Very frustrating. And then we won the last 4 games, and I have to highlight this. Given Manchester United's result this weekend just gone, where they've lost 7-0 to Liverpool, I played this before that game, and yeah, we beat them 7-1. It helped with Casemiro getting sent off in the 7th minute, don't get me wrong. It really did help. But, yeah, we at Old Trafford, we were just fantastic. And Raheem Sterling scoring 4 goals. An ex-Liverpool and Manchester City player scoring 4 goals at Old Trafford. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's going to be the result of the season. Bear in mind, they're last season's champions as well. So, yeah, great result. And then we beat Burnley 3-0 at home. I do have to point out, Manchester City had to lose their game against Liverpool for us to win the league, which is why I didn't do it as a live com, because I didn't think there was any chance of them losing. They did draw it, which is why they finished a point above us. But yeah, they had to lose for us to win the league. And if they had have lost, we'd have won it on goal difference. So yeah, unfortunate really, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So Carabao Cup, we won it on extra time against Wolves. You know, remember me saying earlier, Wolves are a bit of a bogey team. Yeah, we couldn't beat them in 90 minutes. I did put out the second 11. I did bring on the big hitters towards the end, just to try and get the result, because I was panicking and we need a trophy. I know we won the UEFA Super Cup at the start of the season, but we need some sort of domestic trophy. Jurgen Klopp got sacked last season and he won the FA Cup. So I needed something. So I brought the big hitters on towards the end. Finally, Tammy Abraham scored in the 111th minute for us to get the Carabao Cup. So what about the FA Cup then? Well, we're in the final. Look who I played in the semi-final and look what it took to get there. Wolves again. Semi-final, extra time. Bogey team can't beat them in 90 minutes. So after Cheltenham, which is where I left you last time, we played Liverpool at home. We beat them 1-0. We then played Manchester City at home in the next round, fortunately. Beat them 2-0. Then Notts Forest, who we could only just beat 3-2. And then the neutral ground against Wolves, which is Wembley, I think, where we beat them in extra time. So I know we had some tough games against Liverpool and Manchester City, but fortunately we were drawn at home, and we were drawn at home throughout the entire length of that competition. So fortunate, really, for us in terms of the draw. And now we've got Leicester in the final, which I think when Leicester won the FA Cup, they beat Chelsea in the final, so that doesn't bode well for me. I think we need to win it. I don't think our job is at risk, but I think we need to win it. And I know we won the Super Cup and the Carabao Cup, but the minor trophies, we need to win the FA Cup, really. So this is going to be the live com. I'm going to go straight into the game here with you now, pick straight into the game, and we'll see how we get on. So here we are, kicked off with the FA Cup final against Leicester. They already had a shot on target, which is quite worrying. Gallagher's already been booked, which is even more worrying. The game is racing away without many highlights. And here we go, Loftus-Cheek loses out to Tielemans. Iheanacho to Barnes. Come on, boys, get the ball back off him. Don't give it to Maddison. That's the last player I want to have the ball in that position. Just, Jesus Christ. Leicester have definitely had the better of the start. We're 20 minutes in and we've not really turned up as yet. And here they are on the attack again. James Justin to Iniacho. He feeds it to Maddison, who blazes it over the bar, fortunately. Maddison is a player I really, really like, and I would like to buy him on the game. But he does get injured a lot. I have had him in previous saves, and he does get injured quite a bit. Chilwell throws it straight to Ndidi, but Sterling robs him. Get in, Saka! 1-0 to the Blues. Although Leicester are the Blues in this. And I'm the... whatever dirty colour that is that Chelsea are playing in. Loftus-Cheek has now been booked. That's both centre midfielders booked. Jude Bellingham is just absolutely... my players are extremely tired. So Bellingham's on the bench. Mason Mount is absolutely shattered. 2 or 3 others are absolutely shattered, which I can't understand why. I've rotated the team round quite frequently throughout the latter half of the season. And they've had a week since the last game. The training schedule is just normal. I just leave that to the assistant manager. They're not getting run ragged in training, so I don't know why they're all so tired. Don't get complacent out there. We're 1-0 up. Don't get complacent. Chilwell, throw in, Mason Mount. Back to Chilwell. He's played it over, but we've lost it, and yeah, he's going to pick it back up. Tomori, Gallagher, Saka. To Tomori, Saka. I'm playing it about a little bit. Nice little triangles. Oh, he's played Abraham through. Oh, it's a good save from Ugurkin, or whatever he's called. Reece James. Oh. Come on, steal it back off him. Get over there. No. No. What the hell is going on? I don't like this. I really don't like this. Oh, we've got the ball back. Loftus-Cheek's got it back. Gallagher's put it long to nobody. Just giving the ball back to them. And the longer this highlight goes on, the more worried I get that they're going to score. Harvey Barnes is through. Oh, it's a good tackle. Really good tackle. Sterling's now got the ball and the highlight is over. Thank God for that. Chilwell to Mount. Back to Chilwell. Shalaba. Loftus-Cheek. I think we might have to bring Bellingham on shortly. Mount. Oh, Abraham looked offside. He scored. It's a great goal. He looked offside to me. But hopefully it will be ruled in our favour. No, it's disallowed. I thought he did look like he was offside, to be fair. Okay, let's make some subs. Let's just take a breath. Loftus-Cheek is playing well, but he is booked. So let's bring Bellingham on. Mount is shattered, but we'll just leave it for the time being. Mount, Saka. Go on, Saka lad. Back to Mount. Oh, it's a good tackle by Ndidi. Oh, we're claiming for a penalty though. That looked like a good tackle. If this is a penalty, it's a bit of a steal. No penalty. I thought so. Yeah, strange that it even had to go to be checked. It looked like a very clean tackle to me. Players are getting tired again, but I don't really want to take anyone off. I don't want to lower the standard of the 11 that's out there. Gallagher? Oh. Now, Gallagher's shooting from distance is quite impressive. He's scored some fantastic goals from distance, banging them into the top corner. We're getting very close here now, boys. We're getting very close. Last minute of stoppage time. Oh, no, Tomori, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? No. No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No, come on, get it away. Let's have a go kick. It's all over. We've won the FA Cup. We've done the domestic cup double. Oh. Oh, take a bow, sons. I mean, we've won 3 trophies this season. I know 2 of them are pretty minor, but we've won 3 trophies. Just that Champions League disappointment, really, going out in the quarterfinals. But, you know, we're playing against one of the best teams in Europe. Manchester City are one of the best teams in Europe, whatever people say about them. And probably got the best manager in world football, in Guardiola. I don't even know if he's still the manager of Man City, actually, in this game. No, he's not. Ancelotti's the manager. I've just remembered. I think he was sacked last season for not winning anything. And that's just an overview of our competitions. So, second in the Premier League, quarter-final Champions League, won the Super Cup, won the English FA Cup, won the Carabao Cup. 3 out of 5. Not bad. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting this series, and hope you're enjoying the Football Manager content. It is going to keep going. Like I say, I've got another 8 episodes or so to go for this series, and then we'll look at doing something else. Really want to share my Football Manager experiences with you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.